question asks us to find sketch the graph of y equals to 2 sine x plus 3. As we know, the normal sine graph will look like this. So we want to move the graph 3 upwards. The amplitude is equals to 2. So 2 plus 3 is 5. 0 plus 3 is 3. And negative 2 plus 3 is equals to 1. So the graph will look like this. So we want to find the period. Period equals to 2 pi. 2 pi divided by 1.
Amplitude. How do you determine amplitude?
Amplitude, we see this here.
Okay, then
Amplitude is equals to 2. Period, we use 2 pi over b, or over modulus b. B is 1. So we will get period is equals to 2 pi. Then now we'll find key points on horizontal axis is equals to the periods divided by 4. So we'll get pi over 2. So here, pi over 2 plus pi over 2 pi, pi plus pi over 2, 3 pi over 2, 3 pi over 2 plus pi over 2, 2 pi. So we just sub this when x equals to pi over 2, y will equals to 5. When x equals to 0, y equals to 3. When x equals to pi, y equals to 3. When x equals to 3 pi over 2, y equals to 1. When x equals to 2 pi, y equals to 3. So okay, we draw the graph from negative infinity to positive infinity. Then the range of the graph is from 1 to 5.
Okay, actually very good explanation.
Thank you.
Okay, next number 23B.
Okay, so for 23B, the question asks to draw the graph y equals to cos 3x plus pi over 2. So first we find the amplitude. Here is 1. We find amplitude formula will be modulus n will equals to 1. For period is equals to 2 pi over modulus a, which is 2 over 3 pi. Then for phase shift is use the b over a, negative b over a will become negative pi over 6. The width, which means that the key points of horizontal axis will get period over 4 will get pi over 6. So when we draw the graph, we will know that amplitude means the height for the maximum and minimum point. Then for the period, it means that a complete cycle until when. Then for phase shift means that you need to start at where, and width will be the x-axis all need to plus pi over 6 pi over 6. Then we sub when x equals to negative pi over 6, which is our starting point into this equation, we'll get y equals to 1, and then sub 0, we'll get 0, and then so on. We'll draw the graph like this. So because of the question didn't mention that the domain is when, so this can be continuous graph, so domain will be all real number, and the range will start from negative 1 until 1.
This one just substitute the important point.
Important.
Okay.
For question 23, the question given is y equals to negative tangent 3x. So for tangent graph, this is the normal graph, but the question given is negative, so later we need to reflect. So first we find the period, which is 2 pi divided by 3. Then key point on the horizontal axis, which is period divided by 4 equals to pi over 6. So we start from negative pi over 6. Then to find the key point on the horizontal axis, we just plus pi over 6 equals to 0, plus pi over 6, plus pi over 6, and so on. Then we press the calculator to find the y. When we press the calculator, it undefined or less error. So that means it's positive, negative, infinity. So the rest we press the calculator and get this. So we can plot the graph. So for positive, negative, infinity means the asymptote. So we draw the dotted line. Then we just follow the normal graph, but just reflect. Then we get this until 2 pi over 3, which means 1 period. So for domain, x is all real number, but cannot equals to pi over 6 plus minus n times pi over 3. That means when pi over 6 plus 1 times pi over 3, we get pi over 2, which is also the asymptote. When x equals to pi over 6 minus 1 times pi over 3, we get negative pi over 6, which is also the asymptote. So we cannot include in the domain. For range, So it is bukan orient, but negative infinity to positive infinity.
Okay, very good.
Thank you.
Okay, so for question 24a, the question wants us to sketch y equals to 1 over 2 sine 2x minus 180 degrees. And the question gives us the domain is from 0 to 360 degrees. So first we know that the amplitude of this graph is 1 over 2, and we will find the period using this formula 2 pi over a. That is 2 pi, the a is the coefficient of x, that is 2, so 2 pi divided by 2 equal to pi, that is also equal to 180 degrees. So for the key point on horizontal axis, we use the formula period divided by 4, that is pi divided by 4, that is also equal to 45 degrees. For the phase shift, we use the formula negative b over a, so b is the negative 180, so negative 180 also same as pi, so use pi first. Negative times negative pi divided by 2 equals to pi over 2, also equals to 90 degrees. So this the phase shift means the graph must start from 90 degrees onwards, but the question wants us to start from 0, so we need to add here so that the graph starts from 0. So when we plot the point, when x equals to 0, fx is 0 is here. When x equals to 45, fx is negative 1 over 2 is here, and 90, the fx is 0 and onward and go until 360 degrees. So at last we know that the domain is start from 0 to 360 and included these 2 points, and the range will be negative 1 over 2 to 1 over 2 and also included these 2 points.
This one actually manually, and then still merge lah between this one, the atas tu formula, and manually kan.
Yeah.
Very good.
Okay, for question 24b, the question asks us y equal to 2 cos in bracket half x minus 5, and the limit is 0 less than or equal x less than or equal 4 pi, and we find the amplitude is 2, and the period is 2 pi over a, and we substitute the value of a, which is half, and we got 4 pi. And for the y of the graph, we find the key point of horizontal axis, which is period over 4, and we substitute the value of period 4 pi over 4, and we get pi. And from this information, we find the value of x 0 until 4 pi. We just add pi, and we get 0 pi, 2 pi, 3 pi, and 4 pi, and we get the value of y from substitute this x into this equation.
Manually lah kan.
Negative 3, negative 5, negative 7, negative 5, and negative 3, and we dot the point and we draw the graph. The graph will be like this, and we find the domain from 0 to 4 pi, and the range is from negative 7 to negative 3.
Oh, everything below x-axis.
Below x-axis.
Oh, because negative minus 5.
We get the...
Very good. Okay.
So, question given is y equals to tan x plus 5 over 2. And then it also gives limit, which is negative pi over 4 less or equal to x less or equal to pi over 4. So period is equal to 2 pi over a, which is 1 equals to 2 pi, but since the limit is less than 2 pi, so we just draw negative pi over 4 and then pi over 4 only. So since it is positive tan, so we start from here to here, and then it's supposed to be like this, but since it has limits, so the graph will be like this. So for domain, it start from negative pi over 4, 0 is not included, 2 pi over 4. And for range, it start from negative infinity to infinity.
Okay.
Thank you.
Very good.